Hi, I'm Anya, and I'm doing the self-driving car project. So, since my first milestone, I have since added an ultrasonic module, as well as a remote control and a receiver on the car for the remote control, and I've also added code for following hand, self-driving car, and one-touch start capabilities. So first I'm going to explain the ultrasonic module, which is right here on the car, this module right here. It has two sensors, two. One of these sends out ultrasonic waves, and then the other sensor receives the waves. Then, certain code that is uploaded to the car is able to figure out the distance the car is away from an object by using a formula incorporating the speed of sound, as well as the time it took to get the sound waves back after they bounced off an object. So then the car backs up if it is too close to the object, or moves forward if it's too far away. I also had the car follow my hand, which uses both the ultrasonic module and the obstacle avoidance modules right here, which do short distance detection. So the code dictates that if any module of these three notices an object within 5 to 10 centimeters of it, then it turns in that direction. So if my hand is in front of the ultrasonic module here, then the car goes forward to follow my hand. If my hand is in front of either obstacle detection sensor on either side, then it turns left or right depending on where my hand is. And then if there isn't anything in front of the sensors, then the car just stops. So then I finally created the actual self-driving car, which just moves forwards on its own. So then if it detects an object close to it using the obstacle avoidance modules, it will back up to the left or right. And then if the ultrasonic module detects something farther away, the car will end up slowing down or go backwards and then turn to avoid the obstacle. Finally, I added remote control capabilities using this remote control, and it communicates to the car using the IR receiver, which is right here, this thing right here behind the ultrasonic module. So different buttons on the remote control tell the car to do different things, such as to start following a line, accelerating, or turning. So for my modifications, I wanted to add image recognition capabilities using AI, so I now have to use a Raspberry Pi, which is right here, and this can end up communicating with the Arduino on the car, so I don't have to replace it on the car itself. I have started setting up the Raspberry Pi and downloaded some applications, so I've also put the Raspberry Pi OS onto my board through an SD card. I've also downloaded VS Code, which is a good development environment for coding, and then I established an SSH remote terminal to the Raspberry Pi. And I've also downloaded a VNC Viewer, which is the desktop of the Raspberry Pi using the same remote connection method, and that allows me to see images or videos taken by the PiCam for the Raspberry Pi. So the PiCam is actually this thing right here. That's the PiCam, and it's connected to the Raspberry Pi. And I've also started to work with YOLO, which is an image detection algorithm using AI, and it works with that PiCam to recognize images. So I'm going to continue experimenting with that and then connect it to my car for my car to move, detect specific objects, and then perform certain functions based on the objects detected, or I might just have the car follow the detected objects. So I have definitely dealt with many challenges while setting up the Raspberry Pi, such as when I was installing OpenCV, which allows me to do image processing on the PiCam. There were a lot of steps in code that I had to redo a couple times, so that definitely took a lot of time. My PiCam also wasn't functioning properly because the camera wouldn't stay on for more than a couple seconds in the beginning, so I had to debug some code and try to fix that. It still doesn't work the full way that it should, but it can take images and videos, which is what I do want it to do right now, so that's good enough for now. In the future, I'm going to continue working with my Raspberry Pi and do image processing with YOLO to finish up my modifications, and then I will connect it to my self-driving car for it to move around while detecting the images. So I'm really excited to continue working with this, and thank you!